it means that something has to happen. Otherwise the thought won't come to you, would it? Now just learn to purify your thoughts so that the right instruments come and occupy your mind. The right thoughts come. And how do you do that? By being in a joyful environment, by being in a loving environment. Try not to be in negative places. Shankaracharya, the great sage of the 6th century, said, stay with positive people. Be in satsang, be in higher energy, and you will vibrate to be your best that you were born to be. Go into dull, lower company and it will drown you because it will make you well wedded into this earth. And one day you're going to die and none of that is coming to you. In fact, Shankaracharya was passing a village and he saw this man of 80 studying grammar. He said, you're 80 years old. Why are you studying rules of grammar all day, struggling with rules of grammar? Are you blind? He goes, why are you calling me blind? And he goes, you're 80. What's the next step? What should you be studying now? Study about your spirit. Study about who you are. Study about that which will last you. Don't be blinded. What's the point at this age? He was trying to make a point that we get so embedded, even at an old age. Now, how many people have you seen? They're 90 and they go, when I do this and when I do that, and they're still so attached. I don't know if you've seen, but I have seen. So attached to all the things, and I'm thinking, there's so many children who could do with the help. All they have to do is give it all away to the children, sell it, and what are you going to keep it for? I mean, keep something for a rainy day, look after yourself. But all this hoarding, and it's just around the corner and they can't be generous even to their own family. And I think, what's the point to work your entire life to die when you haven't enjoyed the joy of giving, the joy of loving, the joy of caring, the joy of making somebody smile by a kind gesture? Isn't that joyful when you see somebody smile because you've done something kind or nice, or you've just given them something that they liked, or it just... No amount of money can pay you for that, and in your deathbed, that's what you'll remember. I can guarantee that because my husband remembered the good things he did. I remember that when I was in Hong Kong, one of my trips, and my part-time help at that time in Gibraltar, her husband passed away and she didn't have much money. So he called me on the phone. And that time life was a little tough for us because we had 2 kids in boarding school. And it was really expensive, so all our finances went towards the boarding school fees. And he calls me on the phone, he said, darling, would you mind if I paid for the funeral? I was so touched. I said, I would love it. And I'm even happier that it's come from you and not from me. I'm so proud of you, darling. So what? What does it mean? We won't go for a few days or we won't have one holiday? No problem. Do you know how good it made him feel? And when he was dying, what did he tell me? He said, I'm so glad I paid for Carmen's husband's funeral. Then we paid for the daughter's wedding. It was such a nice gesture from him. It's easy to give when you have a lot. It's not so easy to give when you don't. And that's where the treasure is. That is where the treasure, and that's where it will multiply. It will multiply. So if you are not a very loving person, then learn to be more loving. And that's where your life will multiply. It will multiply in love. If you're a serious person, learn to be not so serious, tell some jokes, etc. Go on the internet, memorize some jokes. She loves to tell some jokes. I never was good at telling jokes. Now I'm learning. Do you know who taught me? Mataji. Do you remember Mataji?
Yeah.
I must look for it in my stuff. She gave me a whole lot of jokes. And then she goes, oh, Nalanie. She was reading me one joke in the kitchen. She goes, I think this is a little naughty. And I said, what do you mean a little naughty? It talks a little bit about sex. And I go, okay, it's okay, Mataji, it's normal. It's life. She's so sweet. But her jokes, she made us all laugh, It was just, she was just all morning I was cooking for her in my kitchen. She was telling me one joke after another joke, and I was, Auntie Jane, come cook, and you're making me laugh so much, you know. And I just thought how wonderful life is when you're making people laugh. What are your qualities? What do you lack in? Develop that quality. That's your work. And that's how you bring joy. It doesn't have to be in great things. What did Mother Teresa say? It's not in the great things you do, it's in the little things you do greatly. It's in the little things you do greatly. And that makes your life godly. It makes it whole. It makes it full of love. Your little charity to your garden, to your plants, to your animals. They're there, they're life. It's all life, treating your things nicely, looking after your home. It's all life, it's all energy, it's all consciousness. Whatever you respect and look after will look after you in return. I was funny, the other day I was talking to someone, a few months ago I was talking to someone, I said, I'm very lucky, my white trousers, they last so long. And then I realized why. I look after them. Of course, I look after them, they look after me. If there's a stain, I'll go and clean it immediately, always. Then I put it in the wash and then it goes into the wash. But white for me is very precious. So, and it looks after me, and you look after your clothes, it looks after you, they last you for years and years and years. It's your house. If you look after it, when it's got a little dampness and you immediately attend to it, it's good. But when you say, I do it next year, and next year. And then it gets so bad that you have to spend thousands to fix it. Isn't it true? So you can see in life, people are the same. When you look after them, they'll look after you 1,000-fold. But if you're not bothered and all the time, I, me, mine, my world, then why doesn't anybody look after me? Why should they? Why should they? What have you done for them that they should all come running after you? Why should they? Why do you think everybody should look after you? I don't know how many times I've told that to people. Oh, I'm a good person. Yeah, really? What have you done that's so good? Oh, I look after my family. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Very few people don't, and then they go to homes and these charities, but who most people do, right? What's the big deal? So what makes you so good that the whole world should be thinking of you? I went to this party and I was talking and nobody was listening to me. So maybe you talk more than you do. That's why nobody listens to you. Have you thought about that? Haven't you seen people talk big and they don't do anything with their lives? Everybody walks away and they're still talking. Then they come to me and say, nobody likes me. Why? I'm a good person. What have you done for it? You have to earn respect. And how do you earn respect? By loving the qualities that you are given and working with those qualities to the best of your ability. It doesn't matter how great you are, or what a great artist you are, or what a great musician you are, or whatever you are. It doesn't matter, beautician, computer expert, mechanic. It's how you do it. And when people see you go to a mechanic and they really care about, oh, you know, you got this wrong, good at it, it's a great mechanic. And you do this, and they give it so much love. You go back to the mechanic over and over again. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you go back over and over again? So when people come to you and you treat them like that machine that's been sent to you, and you take the best out of them and say, oh, maybe you should smile a little and then life will be good. You take the best out of them. And that's what you'll get in your life. Because it's a boomerang. As you sow,
you read.
Isn't it simple? So watch What the Bleep Do You Know? It really is good because it puts it very simply. And quantum physics. What is quantum physics? What is anything? What is everything? It's all one in the end. It's all one. We're all one. We all come from the same ball of light, and we'll all go back to the same ball of light. We're all over the world. We see the same sun. We see the same moon at different times because we're in different parts of the earth. But the same sun is seen by my mother in Hong Kong as I see it here. It's the same sun. It's not a different sun. We all see the same things from different angles. And that is the truth. So from unreal to real, from darkness to the light. Because when our mind is in darkness, we cannot see the truth. And the truth is now. And we cannot see who we are. We forget who we are. We forget our peace. We go moaning and groaning. Not everybody, I think you guys do, right? Thank you. I think you love your life, yeah? You love your life?
Yes.
Everybody can say, I love my life.
I do.
Yes! That's good. I love it. As you think?
You become.
I love my life. It's an adventure. It's full of color. It will become full of color. But don't expect like tomorrow, now. But maybe it happens. Who knows? Could happen tomorrow. Could happen next week. I don't know. Only you know. And your joy of living. Because if you are joyful, they'll be sent. People will be sent to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you remember
Oh, yeah.
when Rick was telling us, asked us before just the holidays about what to say to his friend because he was dying?
Yes.
And everybody else was a bit odd with it. What happened in the end? Rick is the one who saw him through his death and came out as an example to everybody. Because he had the thought, maybe I should do this now.
Yeah.
And he did it. And it was great. And he attracted that to him. And he'll attract that to you. Because it came from such a deep, sincere place. No fear. Talking about death to somebody who's about to die and they're not wanting to die is not easy to do. Any of you done it? Not easy to do. I've had people shout at me because I've told them that they're not going to make it. But they've thanked me afterwards. But I didn't mind. I really didn't mind that they got angry. As long as I prepared them and prepared the family. Because the doctors didn't. And they were so grateful later on. So many people shout at you. Don't expect anything. Always do everything for service of mankind. That's what they ask. This person asked me, what do you think? And I said, you really want the truth. And I have to give you the truth. But you really want it. I want it. And later, yes, I accept it. It's not so easy. So this is the mantra we use to elevate ourselves. And that's it for today. I mean, I can talk about the real to unreal all day long. But all I know is that this minute is real and my time is up. And you all have families to go to and friends to go to and dinner to eat, and that is real at this moment. Are there any questions? Yes?
Just want to say it's wonderful to have you back.
Oh, I just want to say it's nice to be back. It's really nice to be back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We finished with a little
Reading along. And for a man, that's very difficult. And he must have been about 83 at that time. And he came home from hospital in great pain. And he goes to me, he goes, Nalanie, what can I do? My poor body has to suffer this karma. Poor body. I'm sorry you are suffering. And yes, he tells us all, he's taking us to the hotel for dinner, all us family. And we said, Dad, you just come out of hospital, 83. Your mother should dress up. Your mother needs to get out with the family. If I stay home, she'll be thinking, worrying. Your mother needs a break. She will dress up, she will go to the hairdresser, she will color her hair, she will wear her beautiful sari, she will wear the jewelry, and she'll be happy. And he did. He was dancing with me, midnight, with me and my mom, and he said to me, God is great that he has allowed me to do this. That love, I mean, I've not seen it in anyone. And I looked at Dad and I said, you are definitely a saint. I saw him do it. Wow. And my uncle is very much the same. He's 88 now, travels all the time, all over the world, still doing charity every night out. And I go, just been in hospital in Singapore for a week. He's throwing a party for all the staff in Hong Kong. How does he do it? He's 88, and running all the hotels and all the businesses. And you go, you see, there is a power that they have so much faith in. They have so much faith in God that the body is aching and the body is this, but they still can carry on with that energy. It's amazing for me to watch. Wow. That kind of energy can't come from you. You just cannot, not possible. So where is it coming from? That self.
You told us once that your father asked every morning for Shakti.
Yes.
And
Yes,
got
you
it.
remember.
And you got it.
Shakti. And I used to tell my mother to do it.
Yeah.
Every month, because my mother used to complain about her back pains. Every month. And he was dying of cancer. And he would go, no, Chandra, just pray. Just say Shakti there, which means give me strength. Give me peace. Give me Shanti. Give me Shakti. Give me Shanti. Give me Shakti. And my mother would go. And even on the phone today, I spoke to her. I said, Mom, sorry I haven't called you so long. I have no phone line. And I will tell you I love you. She said, Nalanie, I'm not alone. God is with me. Daddy taught us that. So these great lessons over years of repetition and repetition and repetition and repetition, they become part of you. And the other day I left Bev in the house. I said, I'm sorry to leave you alone. I'm just going off. Yesterday. And she goes, no, I'm not alone. You're not leaving me alone. Good answer. God is with me. Good answer. Good answer. God is with me. Good answer. Because then you don't feel so scared. The fear that you feel just dissipates. It's that feeling of being alone in this world. It's really quite frightening. Try not alone at all, ever, ever, ever. So, on that note, is it time for me to finish today, or should we do yeah? Oh, some more, a little bit more?
15 more.
Okay, yeah, okay, 15 more, yes. Yes, Ole, you had a question.
No, I just
Oh,
wanted
there's
to
something
say
to
that
share?
I've named the car the Godmobile.
The Godmobile.
Godmobile. Oh, that's good. Godmobile.
Because where did it come from? Only God knows.
Really quite something. Really quite something. I really was quite impressed by God's wow, miracles. It's nice when you see it like this, you know, because I know how long he's been talking about a car. It'll come, it'll come. And a few months ago, he said about the car, and go, God, can you really hurry up with this?
You're talking about Kim.
Pardon?
Kim is the one who's been talking about
Yes.
a car.
Kim is the one.
They needed it to get around.
It was necessity, you see.
Yeah.
What is necessary, it will be
Safety.
provided. Yes. In goodness, it will be provided. It was for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. She wanted a beautiful car. Maybe she would not have got it. She got a practical car. So, so here, these are beautiful gems of wisdom that, you know, really, if you got the Gita, bring it. Are we doing Gita next week here?
No, it's another topic next week.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
Gita.
It's not Gita. Okay.
We were going to do Gita last time and we did not.
Because we started a week late, remember we said
Yeah, because I delayed it because I was moving.
Would be good to do another one.
We can change
Facing
it.
death, finding peace is next week's.
No, we continue with the Gita. This is all about death anyway.
Yeah, you can bring it out. And some people bring it.
We'll bring
out.
bring the Gita with us.
Exactly.
This is all about
Yeah.
death. This is all about that you do not die. So it tells you. In what way would such a person kill Arjuna? Who can you kill? You're the soul, you're the spirit. You're going to kill anyone. Why do you take personal responsibility? Don't take personal responsibility. Then he goes on to say, just like casting off worn out clothing and putting on new ones, that which is embodied casts out worn out clothing and puts on a new one.
Nice.
In other words, just like if you throw an old coat away, will you cry over it?
Do you know what that line always reminds me? Because I
Yes.
have read that line so many times. It brings me like a midsummer dream into my mind. Play that line. It's so beautiful.
Like a what?
Midsummer dream, like Shakespeare,
Oh,
Midsummer
yes,
Dream.
yes.
I'm thinking of that play when I hear that.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
That's a lovely play. It's
Yes.
like, oh yes, it's a play. It's a play. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
There was
Bye-bye.
another man. One, two.
Three.
So he says, so just like casting off worn out clothing and putting on new ones, that which is embodied casts off worn out bodies and enters others that are new. So think of your body as an old clothing. When it gets old, actually don't worry too much. If we're meant to have more life, we'll get a new body, probably a healthier one. Depends on our karma, what we do with our body, how we look after it, how we care for it. We'll just get a new one. So don't worry too much. Good. So achy, I know how you feel. I've been very achy. I've been carrying boxes and go, oh my God, I think I'm 20 and I'm 57 now, you know. You have to remember those things because you don't feel age. The soul does not feel the age, but the body does. So you realize the body is alone. I quite like this feeling because it's a reminder. For me, I look at it as a reminder that this body is impermanent. So it's a good, you know, so when I have pain, I think, wow, this is really good. It's impermanent. Who wants this? Who wants it permanently? We'll just get older and older and older anyway. So, and then it goes, weapons do not affect the self. Weapons do not affect the self. Fire does not burn it. Water does not wet it. And wind does not dry it. So when you see weapons and you get scared, no, the body can be killed, but you can't. When you fear burning, many people feel that they'll die burning. Don't worry about it. You cannot burn. The body will burn. But anyway, many people say when they have awful deaths, many people have come back when they think they're going to have an accident or whatever, and they've said, that moment, the consciousness is gone. So, don't worry about these things. The soul does not die. Water cannot wet it, wind cannot dry it, fire cannot burn it, weapons cannot cut it. That is who you are. The self cannot be pierced or cut. It cannot be burned, moistened or dry. It is endless, all-pervading, stable, immovable, and everlasting. Again, the same thing. So how many times you said it? Again and again and again and again. It is said to be unmanifested, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing all this, there is no cause to grieve. So don't feel sorry for anybody or anything. You think you're kidding somebody, they will not die. They will not die. You will not die. Just as you will live, they will live. They're always going to live. They'll have another body to do their karma. But you have a job to do in this world. You have this body to do your duty. So don't worry. Everybody is going to live. Even your enemies are going to live. And if you read at the end of the Mahabharata, actually, at the end of the war, when of course the good guys are going to win, because righteousness always wins, right? It's just a play, just to have a play to live in. And when they go up to the heavens, Arjuna sees Duryodhana in the heavens and he goes, what is he doing here? Why is he in heaven after all that? But that's another day and another story. It makes you laugh. It's all play. Nobody ever dies.
Do you think God realized how complicated this play could get?
I think God is co-creating the play. For me, how I see this is, I always see it like a tapestry. You know when you do cross-stitch a tapestry? You got the tapestry all done up. When you buy it from the shop, and they sell you the tapestry, and they give you all the threads. But until you put in all the threads, it's not finished, right? And how you put the threads will make the tapestry as beautiful, as ugly as you like. Some people are very untidy, very pretty from the outside and very ugly from the backside. Some people are perfect. But either way, in the end, you will see it perfect. It will be done. How you do it. Some people will get cut and say, oh, I don't want to do this, it's too painful. So they leave it for years and years and years, and one day they pick it up and they have the strength to do it, they don't mind getting poked. But the tapestry is done. How long you want to take, it's up to you. That is the gift. How many bodies you want to take to realize the self is up to you. That's the freedom. That's how I have learned to see it. The freedom is, how long do we want to take? But until we finish that tapestry, we have to keep coming back and back and back. We complain too much, we have to go back to the beginning again, like snakes and ladders. But always moving forward. Because even in snakes and ladders, when you fall down to the bottom step, you can still go back to the top. Always moving forward till the game is over. And for me, this is the way I can understand it. Of course, it is far too great for me to ever really understand or explain, because no human mind or human voice can know that which is eternal and so huge. We can't. It's not possible with this mind. But these are the analogies that I can use that help me to understand the bigger picture. So I feel the bigger picture is there for me already. And let me just not complain or get too excited that I lose my balance, both ways. Don't chase after pleasure and don't run away from pain. And then I can enjoy the tapestry, whatever it is that God has given me. And that's how I see it. And that's how I see it for everybody. So for me, there's no bad or good. I don't see life like that. I don't see life as punishment. I see it all as a learning to finish this great tapestry. I see that we forget, that's all. Just to be reminded. And it has to be good and bad in this world to have some fun. So, read the Mahabharata one day, it'll blow your mind. It's a very big book. It's a very big book. Explains many things. That gunas on the earth, we are subjected to many, many powers. We are earthly powers. That's why you have feng shui. That's why you have energy fields. Because we live in this field. Do they work? Yes. That's why we're born under certain horoscopes. That's why we have certain numbers, and she will be able to tell you on that. She's getting really good with numbers now, Shanti. She got an email asking about numbers the other day. See, people are thinking about it. But we're born with certain characteristics. And yoga is the science to overcome them, to know our weaknesses, to know our strengths. And when we know the 5 Pandavas in our mind, and we focus on that, and we know the 100, Kauravas in our mind, and we try to let the 5 good senses win over all the 100 negative voices. But this is what we are battling with every day. This is the challenge called life. Otherwise, there is no life. And like you said, sometimes you feel, why do I have a body? It would be so much easier. But then we wouldn't have this. We wouldn't have communication. And I remember when my granddaughter Tara was very small, she said to her mom something that was so interesting. She said, "Mommy, I don't want to die." And then Shani goes, "Why? Why do you even think about death? You're 4 or 5. She goes, "Because I know if I die, I cannot hug you and I cannot eat. I cannot eat. I cannot enjoy food." Simply said by a child's mind, mouth. I cannot do those things if I die. It's almost like she knew she had to come to earth to hug her mother and to eat.